Hopefully this looks good. Hopefully this sounds good. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support the channel. I don't really know where to stand. That's the middle. So that's why we're making videos like this, and we're going to upload them. Hopefully you guys like them, because I don't really know what this video is going to be about. I have a bunch of questions I wrote down, and I'm just going to kind of talk about, I guess. Creative content. How to stay motivated as a content creator in 2025. I don't know. You just kind of got to keep doing it, because, it's really just on you. You're kind of like your own boss. You determine everything about it. If you're you have the stuff to do it, and the cameras, and the audio, and the lights, camera, action, audio. But yeah, to stay motivated, I don't know. There's like there's plenty of ways to think about that, because it really depends what your goal is. If your goal is like getting viewership and you're not getting viewership, that could be very demotivating. So, but if you just like enjoy it and you like making content and you're just like, it's what you like doing with your time, it you won't really get as stumbled and tripped up by not having viewership, because not everybody gets viewership. It's tough out here. Everyone's doing the same thing as you, and we're all competitive with each other, and we all just want to, everyone just wants to make it. The top lessons I learned from Will's House podcast this year, and the YouTube channel Will's Music House, all of it. I think the hardest thing with the podcast is, it kind of goes with number one. It's staying motivated, because oddly enough, the podcast was more motivating because, there's people coming and it's worth getting up for and doing, where like doing stuff like this is kind of new, right? We got this nice little background, it's just kind of random, got a little screensaver action going. And it's a little harder to get up here and talk by yourself and be solo and whatever. So I'd say definitely a top lesson is like having a team is very motivating. Having people around you who are bought in, not as a fan, but as somebody who, sees your vision and wants to be a part of it as well, is also something that's very motivating. It's more rewarding than a high views on a video. You put a lot of hard work into something and someone sees that and they want to be a part of it. So to me, that's more motivating, growing and scaling out. So I guess I'll put that at number one. This is raw and uncut. So maybe I'll have a different answer next time. Is live streaming the best way to grow my brand? I don't think so. So that's why we're doing stuff like this. And even though this isn't on the main channel, I don't believe the podcast is what would make the channel like the most successful. So that's why we started doing performances, and we're going to add interviews to them and stuff like that. And I have other ideas, like stuff like this. And maybe we'll have stuff on the main channel that integrates some of this technology as we improve at it and can build you guys a better product. Because like maybe I'm reflecting green. I haven't really checked. And I didn't really get ready for this. We just, chucked some shit up and we're doing some shit. We're doing this for you, though. We're getting deep with it, Oh! The rise of AI and content creation, is it helping or is it hurting? Personally, I have mixed opinions, because like I said, it goes with the first thing. If you have a group of people and a team and all this shit that can, help assist and, be working and shit, and, giving you topics and, helping you schedule, and, there's a lot more into it that goes into it. So AI, in a way, you can, for example, with ChatGPT, you could talk to it for like 5 minutes, explain everything you want to do and your goals of something, and then be like, put it in an outline format. And something like that's nice. It can organize your ideas. So in that aspect, I appreciate it. But in other aspects, it's like any tool. It depends how we use it. You also have to keep up with the times, like move on or get left behind, right? Don't be a boomer. Like, we want to be a millennial boomer, be scared of AI. It's fucking stupid. Are algorithms killing creativity? I don't think so, because like when you go online, so many people are making stuff. Like maybe in terms of like top tier, high quality, amazing, um, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Creativity, like the epic movie that like came out in the 70s that everyone can remember. We have so much high quality content in like 4-second videos and all this other shit and YouTube videos and things people create now are very creative, but there's a lot of it. So not everybody gets a piece of the pie. So it doesn't have that lasting impact of like, oh, this generation's so uncreative because it doesn't have this cultural phenomenon of a thing that happened. So I don't know. I disagree. I mean, I don't know if the algorithm necessarily goes in or out of that because whatever, but just like the general idea of like the way new technology functions, I don't think it's killing creativity at all. It's giving more people a voice, and more people who wouldn't have had an opportunity to be creative before can be creative now. The craziest tech innovation this year is definitely AI. I mean, whether it's Suno or ChatGPT, or Claude or these other programs, AI agents that do stuff like different tasks, the use of AI in cryptocurrency, how those two sectors have come together, the use of AI in warfare, and just the new frontier of all the things that are coming in the future. So, the biggest companies, the biggest money, you know what I'm saying? So, I have to go with AI. What's the future of music and film in an AI world? You know, I don't really like questions like this. I think it's a little misleading. Here, I'll put my phone down because that's the last question for this video. I think that question is a little misleading because like AI is like being painted as this bully, this like stealer, theft, whatever. But like there's always something before it. Like in music, there's the ghostwriter. So you have a guy like Drake, and he has a ghostwriter, and then it's exposed, and it's like, oh, he doesn't write his own songs, blah blah. And it's like, oh, everybody does that, you know? And then it's like, I remember when I first got into doing music in 2010, 2011, like on the DAW and like making it that way, not just having my guitar and like hanging out with my friends and doing it that way, out loud, like actually recording it and creating stuff. Back then, like older people you talk to would be like, "Oh, sampling's whack." Like just like taking a loop and from a song stealing it's stealing, it's theft, like, and it's like, well, you know, even music then had a lot of samples. It's funny, like, and these same songs are circling back, being resampled now, and then something like Splice comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're using Splice loops," but then like some of the top songs in the country are on the Billboard 100 are a couple Splice loops with a little extra production, and it's like you could keep hating, or you could just go with the innovation, and like if you're gonna hate on AI and music, and you make a beat with presets and a VST. I saw this Dead Mouse video one time, and he's talking about it like, oh, I hate this new electronic music because they go in Nexus and they push one key and it's like, he's like, that's whack, blah blah, and it's like, at least he's has that opinion, and if he thinks AI is whack and he thinks that's whack, all right, that's a little more valid, that's a little better. But if you think like pressing the one set preset library that you did nothing to do with versus like generating something on Suno is like any different, I mean, it's obviously like a different process, but it's like if you with the Suno loop, like you created words, you created a thought, an idea, an expression, okay? And it generates something out to you. And then you could manipulate it, sample it, you could split the layers, you could write your own music on top of it. So it's like you could re-record something, send it back in, have it sent back out, and reiterate it upon. So it's like you could actually be way more creative and like in depth and create something very cool and unique with that versus sampling and taking someone's work that they made, like just one person's, not an amalgamation of a lot of people's work, because it's kind of what the AI does. And I understand the argument if they feel like they're stealing your songs and you should have got some money for that or whatever. I can understand where that argument comes from, but I also disagree with that. And if you guys want to fight about that in the comments, we can fight about it. But yeah, I lost track of what the fuck I was talking about. More Will channel. Subscribe. bitch.